This is the Samsung Galaxy A56. The most anticipated mid-range device from Samsung in all its glory. And you guys know how we do it. This is my review. Let's get it. We're going to begin with the prices. As at the moment I'm making this video, the official prices are not yet out, but this is the price we should be expecting, around 6,400 Ghana cedis. I'm going to do my best and put the conversions on the screen so you know what to expect from the country you're purchasing this for. With that said, this time there's not a lot to do for the unboxing experience. We don't really get much. All you get is the charging cable in the box and some paperwork. That's all you get for the unboxing experience. Let's get straight to the design, which is definitely one of my favorite features of this phone, especially the design for the camera rings. It looks really cool. I kind of feel like this is what the S25 should have looked like, but instead we have that in the A series, which is kind of good, more affordable and even better looking. For this year's color options, we have the awesome pink, olive, graphite and light gray. I have here the pink. We get a metallic frame and a Corning Gorilla Victus for the back and the screen protection. It's also IP67 water resistant. It's lighter than last year's A55 at 198 grams. We get a volume rocker and power button at the right side, a Type-C port, a mic and a dual nano SIM card slot at the bottom. This year, this doesn't support SD cards, and a flat display at the front. It feels really good in the hand. The combination of the metallic frame and the glass back gives this premium feel. But what I kind of wish though that we had IP68 69 dust and water resistance, because the device I reviewed the last time, which cost about 3K, kind of has all that. But in general, the build is very durable, it looks good, and it feels really good in the hands. So when it comes to build and design, I'm going to give Samsung an 8 out of 10. Now let's talk about the display. We get a bigger display compared to last year's A55. This is a 6.7 inches Super AMOLED 120Hz 1080p panel. And of course, it's flat with amazing looking colors and deep blacks as well. The bezels have been slimmed down to make the display size of the Samsung Galaxy A56 6.7 inches, which is larger than the 6.6 inches of the Samsung Galaxy A55. Plus, the thickness has been reduced to make the Samsung Galaxy A56 even easy to grip in the hand. The display has amazing viewing angles, and at 1200 nits, you can easily use it even when you are outdoors. And the colors, just like most Samsung devices, are beautiful, making watching content on here a delightful experience. It being flat and all, with a stereo speaker setup is definitely cool. Everything you might need from your display. The bezels on here though are not the biggest that I've seen, and they are not the smallest either, but you are definitely going to notice it, especially due to the fact that they are not uniform all around. The bottom kind of has this chin, and the sides are kind of equal, and the top is a little bit smaller. So yes, Samsung, I think that's the only thing left with the display. Then you've created a 100% display for me. There's also an in-display fingerprint sensor. It's decently fast and secure. If you're coming from a flagship device, it might not be the fastest you've experienced. Now let's talk about performance. This comes with Android 15 with up to 6 years major Android update, which is mind-blowing. Definitely one of my favorite features about this device as well. We get One UI 7 out of the box with the Exynos 1580 chipset. This is a 4nm chipset and the Eclipse 540 GPU. My version is the 128GB of storage with 8GB of RAM. Performance has been great. Having One UI out of the box is definitely cool, considering previous S-series devices from last year don't even have One UI yet. So having One UI for a mid-range device right out of the box is definitely welcome. You can see these from the widgets and how you access the control center and notification. Apart from that, the device performs really well with everyday usage. Apps open fast, animations are smooth. Geekbench and Antutu scores are as follows. For Geekbench score, there's a 17% increase in the single score performance and a 12% increase in the multi-score performance. It's not a drastic increase, but a win is a win, so we're going to take that. And for Antutu, there's a 25% increase in the score, which is not bad at all. Now, how does that translate to everyday usage? If you play games a lot, you might like it. For Call of Duty, now you can play at high graphics with high frame rates, and for PUBG, you can play at HDR and Ultra frame rate, and you're going to enjoy the gameplay experience on this device. And for AI features, yes, it's 2025. I don't think there's going to be any device that doesn't have AI features on here, and this is no exception. There is Circle to Search, which helps you easily identify objects in your images. There's also Object Eraser for removing objects you don't like in your shots. But unlike the S series, the generative feature when it comes to the Object Eraser is not as perfect as the S series. Like for instance, you could easily take away your hands from images like from your face. This kinda can't do that, but it does well when you are removing general stuff. So if that is why you want to get one of these, you probably should be looking at the S series. You also get Best Face for helping you get the best looking from pictures that you take. This actually works when you have the motion photo turned on when you're taking pictures. There's also Gemini, which works really well. So in general, performance has been great, especially having 6 years Android support. Guys, that is definitely, let me see, we are in 2025 up to 2031. You can still use this device if you still want to use it. So I think Samsung did an amazing job with that. One UI is cool. The haptic feedback on here is really cool. Something I can't say a lot when it comes to other devices, but I enjoy the haptic feedback and the vibration motors on this device. Now for battery, this has a 5000 mAh battery and supports 45 watts of super fast charge. This is definitely a boost from the 25 watts that we had from last year's device. And for the battery life, depending on your use case scenario, it can easily last you the whole day. And when you're charging it, you can get about 65% in just 30 minutes of charge. Being able to super fast charge your device immediately when you want to move out is really, really cool. So battery life isn't a problem at all. Now let's talk about the cameras. We have what looks like a triple camera setup at the back, the main sensor being a 50 megapixel sensor and a 12 megapixel ultra wide and a 5 megapixel macro camera. I wish we had a telephoto sensor on here, but we don't have that. We had a macro camera. The selfie at the front is a 12 megapixel sensor. For images, these were very clean with a lot of details. I don't have any complaints. And for videos, this is able to shoot 4K at 30 FPS. And the footage that came from these were excellent. To be honest, I really like how amazing the selfie videos look like. If you are planning to make content with this, you are not going to be disappointed at all. The videos on here turned out really, really nice. So this is a selfie camera video text on the Samsung Galaxy A56. What do you guys think about the footage so far? It's kind of looking really good. What do you think about the skin tones? Also, how do I sound? Let's try and test dynamic range a little bit. Whoa. Yo, that's pretty neat. Now, let's test out the stabilization. We are shooting at UHD 30 FPS. Let me jog forward and backwards. Okay. Jog again. And this is the selfie camera. I can't wait to see what the main camera looks like. Let's switch to the main camera. So this is what we get on the Samsung Galaxy A56 main camera. Let me know how it looks like. Tell me what the skin tone looks like. Is it good? Is it bad? Let me know in the comment section down below. And now we're going to test out the stabilization just like we did on the selfie cam. Go to jog there and backwards. We're actually going to switch to Full HD to test out the stabilization. So if this is good, then it's actually really good. This is super steady on at Full HD 30 FPS. Let's jog and see what the stabilization looks like. Again. Let me know what you think about the video in the comment section down below. And as usual, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe for amazing videos like this. Peace. But since it's a mid-range device, we also don't get those AI features that we have in the S series, like the noise removal, no log footages. You can't have it all. For you guys, I want to know what you think about this so far in the comment section down below. I think it's a solid device. It looks amazing. The battery life is cool. Having One UI out of the box is definitely definitely welcome. Display, of course, is really nice. Cameras have been amazing so far. If you don't want to pay so much for the Samsung Galaxy S series, maybe this is a device you can actually look into. But let me know, what device would you want to see me compare this to? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'm going to deliver to you guys. And as usual, thank you for watching this video. Stay liquid, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. I'm out.